One quiet meeting inside the royal residence held a direct warning about the modern monarchy, and it set the tone for everything that followed. By the end of this video, you will understand why observers pay such close attention to Princess Anne's distinct role within the royal family, and what reported dynamic shifts between senior royals reveal about the institution's future. The British royal family operates on centuries of tradition, unspoken protocols, and a deeply ingrained work ethic. Among the working royals, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, has long been regarded as one of the most steadfast and disciplined members of the House of Windsor. Year after year, public engagement statistics consistently show her completing hundreds of official duties, often earning her the title of the hardest working royal. Her approach to public service is simple: focus on duty, support the crown, and keep personal ambition far from the public eye. To understand the core values of the institution, one must look closely at how Princess Anne built her standard of service over decades. Trained directly under the mentorship of her late father, Prince Philip, and adopted an unflinching, no-nonsense approach to public life early on. She recognized that the public's respect for the crown was directly tied to visible, selfless work rather than media attention or personal popularity. Throughout her career, she consistently prioritized quietly supporting hundreds of charities over personal image management. When Meghan Markle entered the royal sphere following her engagement to Prince Harry, expectations were high for how the couple would shape their roles within the institution. As a successful American actress, Meghan brought a distinct perspective, a global media presence, and a clear vision for her personal brand and philanthropic focus. However, adapting to the rigid structure of the monarchy requires navigating unique boundaries, where individual expression often takes a backseat to institutional continuity. Royal commentators and reported insider accounts indicate that early conversations took place regarding how new members should approach their duties. According to reporting by royal authors and commentators, Princess Anne offered clear, pragmatic advice regarding the realities of royal life. Her guidance was straightforward: treat royal service as work rather than celebrity, conduct proper research, show up on time, and dedicate oneself entirely to the assigned causes without expecting instant transformation of the system. But that wasn't the only perspective at play. While Princess Anne represented traditional duty, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex sought to forge a modern, agile path. Reports suggest that differing views on commercial independence, media engagements, and personal branding quickly created friction within the established palace apparatus. The vision of an international, self-funded royal brand did not align with the core principle long maintained by senior figures like King Charles and Prince William, that working royals serve the public funded by the state, without mixing private enterprise with royal titles. The tension between institutional hierarchy and personal ambition is far from new in the long history of the British monarchy. Similar dynamics played out decades earlier with King Edward VIII, and later with Diana, Princess of Wales. In each era, the institution faced a choice between bending to modern media realities or defending its foundational rules. Senior royals, including Princess Anne, have consistently maintained that individual public profiles must remain secondary to the survival and integrity of the monarchy itself. Then something unexpected happened. In early 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan announced their intention to step back from senior royal duties, a decision that led to intense negotiations behind palace doors. The outcome was a firm boundary set by the late Queen Elizabeth II and supported by Charles and William. A half-in, half-out role was not permissible. The decision meant relinquishing official patronages, military appointments, and active royal duties. The immediate aftermath of this decision placed unprecedented logistical and ceremonial pressure on the remaining working royals. With two key members removed from the official roster, the sheer volume of public engagements, international tours, and patronages required redistribution. It was during this critical period of transition that the senior framework composed of King Charles, Prince William, and Princess Anne became the central spine holding the public-facing apparatus together. However, there's another detail that highlights how Princess Anne views the modern structure of the monarchy. In public interviews, Princess Anne has occasionally shared rare insights into her perspective on the institution. When King Charles expressed a long-held vision for a slimmed-down monarchy focused primarily on a core group of working royals, and publicly noted in a CBC interview that such a plan was conceived when more family members were available to share the workload. Her comments reflected a practical assessment of royal duties: reducing the number of working royals increases the burden on those who remain. This pragmatic critique showed that Anne was willing to voice logical concerns about operational reality, even when discussing the sovereign's strategic vision. Her primary focus remained on ensuring that the public obligations of the crown were reliably met. For King Charles and Prince William, balancing a streamlined public budget with effective community representation became a delicate juggling act, making Anne's extensive schedule all the more vital. What happened next surprised many observers. As the institution adapted to the absence of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as well as Prince Andrew, the workload concentrated significantly on King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Princess Anne. Princess Anne's unwavering commitment to her schedule reinforced her standing as a central pillar of stability during times of structural change. Observers noted that while public debate centered around royal titles, media deals, and personal memoirs, Anne continued her work quietly, undertaking grueling travel schedules without fanfare. Her steadfast approach stood in stark relief against the high-profile media rollouts originating across the Atlantic. While interviews, documentaries, and publishing deals dominated global headlines, the day-to-day operations of the British monarchy depended heavily on local ribbon cuttings, charity visits, and military honours managed by Anne. This steady presence served to reassure the British public that the core machinery of state service remained unbroken. This stark contrast highlights two fundamentally different philosophies within modern royalty. On one side is the traditional model championed by Princess Anne: quiet service, emotional restraint, and strict adherence to protocol. On the other side is the modern public figure model: direct communication, media production, and personal advocacy outside traditional state boundaries. The debate between these two paths extends far beyond individual personalities or family disagreements. It addresses a fundamental question about what the public truly expects from a monarchical system in the 21st century. Does the public value a traditional, stoic institution dedicated solely to ceremonial stability, or does it demand personal accessibility, modern transparency, and emotional vulnerability from its leaders? Reporting on the dynamics between senior royals indicates that King Charles and Prince William remain focused on preserving the core dignity and purpose of the monarchy while maintaining firm boundaries regarding former working members. Princess Anne's firm, no-nonsense posture has served as a key support system for King Charles during his reign, ensuring that the work of the crown continues without distraction. As Prince William prepares for his eventual transition to the throne, observers note that he has adopted much of his aunt's practical mindset regarding boundary enforcement. While William actively embraces modern causes like environmental technology, his insistence on protecting the monarchy's structural boundaries mirrors the rigid principles advocated by Princess Anne throughout her life of service. The evolution of the British royal family shows that while individuals may choose different paths, the fundamental requirements of the institution remain rigid. The contrast between traditional duty and modern personal branding continues to shape public perception of the monarchy worldwide. Ultimately, the firm boundaries established by senior royals were not meant as personal attacks, but as institutional self-defense. By drawing a clear line between public service and private commercial ventures, the royal family aimed to protect its credibility. Princess Anne's unwavering dedication serves as a daily reminder of the price of royal life: absolute devotion to duty above self. Do you think this moment reflects a changing royal family, or is it simply being interpreted that way? Share your thoughts below. If you found this analysis insightful, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more commentary on public history and royal affairs.